All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. I also want to give double honors unto the apostle, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Blessings, salutations to the elect, as well as unto the hopeful elect that I came out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth. Also the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but are of the nations of Israel and their father's side by blood. And once again, coming with another lesson through the Spirit, power, mercy, and grace of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And, this article is dated back earlier this year. Back in May, where they were tracking, migrants with ankle monitors. All right. Honestly, I thought it was a more recent article, but just looking at it now, you can just kind of see the build up to where we're at this point. Pretty much at the end of the day, Biden letting them all in, Trump feeling like they're a problem, then they need to track them. Now it's just too much going on. They got to deport them. And, as we know, this brother been doing videos on some of these some of the Latin tribes that's being deported are being loaded on cargo planes, and bodies are washing ashore. So you could just put those puzzle pieces together and understand what's going on. But upon seeing, because when you read in this article, part of the reason that they was doing the devices was the tracking devices, because people wasn't checking in. They was pretty much required to check in with ICE and pretty much show that they doing what they supposed to be doing. They pretty much was on probation in a sense. Being on probation, you got certain criterias and objectives, so to speak, for lack of better words, that you got to do. Well, part of theirs was checking in. Part of theirs was checking in and getting checking in, and I'll probably just read the article. Here we go. Right here, the Spirit says the migrants required to report to their local ICE offices do not have deportation orders yet, but are expected to get the boot for various reasons. They are still expected in immigration court as their cases wind through the system. The check-ins are there to ensure they're showing up to immigration court and not committing crimes. With the new tracking push, ICE will move to send out its agents quickly to try to arrest anyone who cuts off their ankle monitor and potentially charge them with the crime, which wasn't the case under the Biden administration. Okay, so that's pretty much, what they was doing and we or planned to do. And at the end of the day, we know it's all coming down to the MOTB. Okay, but upon seeing this, right, and this is just me speaking as a man, because I look at it like they're going to be deporting some, and then they're going to give an incentive and allow some of these to stay, some of the Latin tribes to stay. And at the end of the day, we already know what that incentive would be. It would be the RFID CHIP, man. All right, because back, I'm gonna word it like this: back when the world was sick. All right, as you can see this word that I'm highlighting. Back when the world was sick in 2020, they were allowing prisoners to serve out some of their time outside of the walls, but pretty much be monitored through phones and apps, and apps on the phone and through ankle monitors, phone monitors, and checking in and everything. So if you had like 6 months, or something to that effect, just give an example, you'll be allowed to serve those 6 months at home with certain criteria you had to upkeep. But I had asked We'll type in prisoners allowed to receive ankle monitors during COVID. It said yes. Oops. Well, that word is all right. It says yes. Prisoners released to home confinement during the COVID-19 pandemic were often required to wear ankle monitors as a condition of their release. Right. And I'm going to just kind of go into some of the key points. It says conditions of home confinement. Home confinement under the CARES Act involves strict conditions, including requiring inmates to wear ankle monitors or in some cases a phone with monitoring capabilities, adhering to curfew and submitting to drug and alcohol tests. So once again, you was able to be at home, but there were certain criteria you had to upkeep. Okay, it says purpose of monitoring. Electronic monitoring such as ankle monitors allowed authorities to track the movements of individuals on home confinement and ensure they remain as an authorized location. Wanted to get over here. It says in important notes, not early release. Home confinement was not considered early release. Individuals were still serving their sentences while under the custody and control of the Bureau of the Prisons. It says technology evolved. While traditional ankle monitors were used initially, the BOP later implemented a phone-based monitoring system for those on CARES Act home confinement. Now, that's pretty interesting because it's a smaller, your phone, the ankle monitor is I had one before back in the day, but it's annoying, but it they put it to the point where you got to shower with it. You can't take it off, of course, as you know, but okay, well, if that's annoying here, maybe lesser criminals, they was allowing them to have the app on their phone and monitor them through that. Well, that'll just evolve from the ankle monitor to the app on the phone, from the app on the phone to a device being implanted in you. It says low recidivism, if I'm saying that correctly. Let's see. Recidivism, right, which says the tendency of a convicted criminal to re-offend. Okay, when we read that, it's gonna say that it was lower, right? Recidivism. Where did it go? Wrong one. Dang. No, it should be here. Oh, shit. Well, I don't know what happened to the page. Okay, here we go. It says low recidivism. Data suggests that individuals placed on home confinement under the CARES Act have remarkably low recidivism rates, meaning they wasn't reoffending. They was actually abiding by the rules and stipulations that came with them serving out their sentence at home. And that's all it is. It's like they'll make it seem like, hey, this is a good thing. This is good. Because at the end of the day, that's their plan. That's their goal, is to put that call law YAHAWASHI is 144. Hey, we bringing it out at 144 too. They want to put that chip in you, man. All right. And this is Revelations 13 and 16. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, and receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that is the situation that we soon are going to come into, right? Because we're going to just look at everything that's happening. All right, with all of the safety issues they continuously talk about, whether it's dealing with the wars and dealing with the illegal migrants and, certain criminals and so on and so forth. All right, even emergencies where, as far as a pandemic, all right, these would be things utilized, or a FF, a situation that's staged, and then now they need to implement these laws and that law. All right. Then they're increasing in their AI technology and their humanoid robotics and things of that nature. So it's all leading up to pretty much having it as a totalitarian state, man, where, like they said, you're gonna own nothing and be happy. Okay, so much is gonna be taken away from you. When they give you a little bit, you're gonna be excited, man. Shoot, I'm trying to think of this movie where it was a woman like locked up, and they pretty much, or hey, matter of fact, the movie Platform. If you ever seen that movie, crazy movie, but food come down every so often, and if the people above you eat more than what they supposed to, then the people at the bottom won't have any. But the first couple of days she was up in there, the woman in there, she wasn't really trying to eat the food, but after a while, oh yeah, she said she had to pretty much eat it. She had to partake if she wanted to continue to live. So much is going to be taken away from you when they give you a little bit. You're just going to be satisfied with that, man. That's the times that we're coming into. And all of this is giving them a reason, okay, why people need to be tracked and why people need to be monitored, and safety concerns and sleeper cells. There's a whole bunch of things that's out there that's just setting the stage, man. They just checking the micro. They doing sound checks right now. Doing sound checks, visual, checking with the cameras, making sure the lights work, the fireworks that they got for the stage and everything, all of that. That's what they're checking for now. So when it's showtime, for them it's go time, okay? So, hey, through the spirit, those are the times that we're leading into, man. That's what's being prophesied, so that's what has to come to pass, because that's what's written, okay? Our job is to, continue to fight and overcome our battles, fighting these, evil spirits and shit, even ourselves, man, getting out our impurities, and if it be of the Lord will, we'll be able to endure to the end, man. All right? So, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, Shalom.